I welcome all of you to this presentation on intelligence test measures, or we can say types of intelligence test scores. Now let us have a look on what an intelligence test is. एक बुद्धि परीक्षण क्या होता है? बुद्धि परीक्षण के द्वारा हम व्यक्ति के मानसिक स्तर का मापन करते हैं। इन परीक्षणों के माध्यम से विभिन्न शाब्दिक अशाब्दिक प्रश्नों के प्रस्तुत किया जाता है और परीक्षार्थी द्वारा दिए गए उत्तरों के आधार पर व्यक्ति का मानसिक स्तर ज्ञात किया जाता है। परीक्षण का फलांकन करने के लिए जिन आधार का उपयोग किया जाता है उनमें से सबसे प्रसिद्ध मानसिक आयु और बुद्धि लब्धि है, जिन्हें हम मेंटल एज और इंटेलिजेंस कोशेंट कहते हैं। These are the most popular measures of intelligence scores, and intelligence scores are generally interpreted in terms of mental age and intelligence quotient. In the following slides, we will study about the mental age and intelligence quotient. Now here are the points which we'll be discussing in further slides. The entire presentation is divided into two major sections. So one dealing with mental age, that is mental मानसिक आयु, and intelligent quotient. The other is intelligent quotient, that is buddhi labdhi. We will be studying about the origin, how it originated, from where this concept of mental age and intelligent quotient came, what does it mean, how it is measured, इनका मापन कैसे किया जाता है, मानसिक आयु कैसे मापी जाती है और बुद्धि लब्धि का मापन किस तरह से किया जाता है, और ये सब हम इलस्ट्रेशंस के साथ करेंगे, उदाहरण सहित इनको समझाया जाएगा। Let us now have a look on from where the concept of mental age came. If we try to trace the history of intelligence test, it was around 1900 when French government asked Alfred Binet, a great psychologist, to assist them to devise means for diagnosing slow and mentally retarded children in Paris school. Alfred Binet, along with Simon, developed an intelligence test scale for this purpose, which was published in 1905. And further, in 1908, the test was revised, in which the concept of mental age was introduced. So it was the first revision of Binet-Simon scale in 1908, in which this concept of mental age was introduced. अब हम परिभाषा के माध्यम से मानसिक आयु को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं। It is said that mental age is the indicator of level of intellectual development. मानसिक आयु व्यक्ति के बौद्धिक विकास का सूचक है। अक्सर हम सुनते हैं कि वो फिजिकली इतना ग्रो कर गया है, लेकिन उसका दिमागी लेवल या बौद्धिक लेवल बच्चे जैसा ही है, उसका दिमाग बच्चे जैसा ही है। For instance, she was 40 but had a mental age of 5 years. ये बालक की मानसिक परिपक्वता का परिचय देते हैं। How much intellectually mature a child is. बालक जिस आयु के प्रश्नों को हल कर लेता है, उसकी मानसिक आयु उतनी ही मानी जाती है। जब हम मानसिक आयु को परिभाषा में देखते हैं, तो वो स्कोर्स के फॉर्म में इसकी परिभाषा दी गई है। टकमन इस संदर्भ में कहते हैं, a score that is determined by comparing a child's score with the scores obtained by younger and older children in the norming group. Here, the child's score, the obtained score by the child, are compared with the average score of his age group. It means, in other words, we can say how a specific child at a specific age performs intellectually is compared to average intellectual performance at that physical age. And comparison of the obtained score help us to understand a child's mental age. किसी भी बालक के स्कोर को जब हम उसकी आयु के औसत स्कोर से मिलान करते हैं या उसके औसत स्कोर के संदर्भ में देखते हैं, तो बालक की मानसिक आयु निर्धारण होती है। जैसे किसी बुद्धि परीक्षण में 10 साल के बालक के लिए निर्धारण औसत मान 50 है, तो जिस बालक का इस परीक्षण का औसत मान 50 आएगा, उसकी मानसिक आयु 10 मानी जाएगी, चाहे उसकी आयु 9 वर्ष हो या 11। एक और उदाहरण के लिए मैं ये बताना चाहती हूँ, यदि अगर इसमें हम देखें इस टेबल में, यदि 10 साल का बालक 35 स्कोर करता है, 35 या 36 स्कोर करता है, तो उसकी मानसिक आयु 11 होगी। उसने अपनी आयु से अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दिया। यदि 10 साल का बालक 25 स्कोर करता है, तो उसकी मानसिक आयु 9 होगी, क्योंकि 10 साल के बच्चे के लिए जो निर्धारण मान है वो 30 है, और 9 साल के बच्चे के लिए जो निर्धारित मान है वो 25 है। तो अगर 10 साल का बच्चा 25 स्कोर करता है, तो उसकी मानसिक आयु 9 होगी। उसने अपनी आयु से नीचे परफॉर्म किया है। Now we come to next section that deals with another intelligence test score, that is intelligence quotient, which is popularly known as IQ. The term was coined by William Stern in 1912 and is derived from a German word to represent intelligence test score. It was introduced in the American division of Binet-Simon scale done at Stanford University by Terman. Therefore, it is called Stanford-Binet Intelligence Test in the year 1916. It is in the form of a ratio. IQ is defined as the ratio of mental age to the chronological age, or we can say real age, multiplied by 100. It is multiplied by 100 to avoid decimal fractions. Suppose a 10-year-old child has a mental age of 120 months, then his IQ would be estimated as 120 upon 120 into 100 equals to 100, which would be considered as a normal or average in the sense that his mental age and chronological age are exactly equal. However, if another 10-year-old child has a mental age of 156 months, his IQ would be computed as 156 upon 120 into 100 equals to 130, which obviously exceeds the average, that is 100. Such a child would be considered to be very superior intelligence in the sense that his performance is much above the performance of his age mates. However, if there is another child with mental age 96 months only, his IQ would be estimated as 96 upon 120 into 100 equals to 80, which obviously falls below the average. And he will be considered as dull in the sense that his performance is below the average of his age mates. So if the mental age is greater than chronological age, then IQ would be greater than 100. That is, it would be better than average, it would be above average. Whereas if mental age is lower than the chronological age, then IQ would be less than 100, that is less than average, that is below average. Psychologists, on the basis of their research work on the concept of IQ in different situations, have developed the following table. This classifies people as genius, very superior, superior according to their IQ. On the basis of their IQ, people are classified as different at different level. This table has been adopted from A.K. Singh, Test Measurement and Research Methods in Behavioral Sciences. It states that if a child's IQ is above 140, he would be considered as genius. If it is between 130 and 140, the child is very superior. If it is between 120 and 129, the child is of superior intellectual capacities. If it is between 110 and 119, the child is a bright one. If it is between 90 and 109, the child has average intellectual capacities. Between 80 to 89, child is dull. Between 70 to 79, the child is on borderline. And if it is 69 and below, the child may be considered as mentally defective. So this table shows on the basis of the IQ, we can classify people differently. Computation of IQ through this ratio method was very popular during early 20th century, but soon it began to lose its importance owing to the following shortcomings. So here are the limitations of this IQ ratio. It is said that around 18 to 19 years mental age tend to stabilize, but the chronological age continues to increase. Hence, the numerator of the IQ ratio remains constant while the denominator keeps on rising. The result is that the person seems to be less and less intelligent as he grows older. Another limitation of measuring IQ through this ratio method is that, as Binet believed, that these measures represented by a single number cannot provide true account of a person's intelligence. Intelligence is too broad concept to quantify into single number. It involves different mental abilities and is influenced by various factors that keep on changing over time, and it can only be compared with children with similar background. Yet another limitation of this IQ score is that variability of IQ scores in different tests. IQ scores are scattered differently in different intelligence tests. Variability of IQ scores is not the same for different age level on the same test. It means that SD of IQ scores at different age level may vary. For instance, if the SD of 8 years old children is 9, while the SD of 10 years old children is 12, the IQ score of 120 of a 10-year-old child would be interpreted as different when we compare his IQ score with different SDs. So the same IQ score would be interpreted differently with different SDs. So these were the shortcomings or limitations of measuring the IQ through this ratio method. And because of these shortcomings, it is no longer in use, and it is now replaced by deviation IQ. Deviation IQ is a score based on how an individual deviates from the average. IQ score is converted into normalized standard score with a fixed mean of 100 and fixed SD of 15. Two-thirds of scores lying in the normal range between 85 and 115. For example, if a child scores 1 SD above the mean, his deviation IQ will be 100 plus 15, that is 115. That is, his score is above average, above his age mates. And on the other hand, if a child scores 1 SD below the mean, his deviation IQ will be 100 minus 15, that is 85. It means that his score is below his age mates, that is, his score is below average. In deviation IQ, SD has a constant value at each age level, which helps in overcoming the shortcomings of IQ ratio. Now, here are the names of the intelligence tests which interpret the intelligence score in terms of deviation IQ. It is Wechsler's Adult Intelligence Test and Cutill's Culture Fair Intelligence Test. Apart from these tests, there are other intelligence tests also which interpret the scores in terms of deviation IQ. Even Stanford Binet adopted this method of deviation IQ later on. So with this we come to an end of our video. Thank you.